Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? This is not going to be a long live. It just depends. Well, that just depends on who comes up or if I'm just going to be doing all the talking. Hey Bolo, how are you? Good to see you. What's up, Slam? Slam, what's up, Roy Lee? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is a open panel. I don't know if you guys would be interested in it, but I am doing an open panel on this particular thing. What's up, D? Because I have ran into a lot of different situations on here, as you know, and some situations, you know how you feel like you've learned the lesson, and then sometimes you find yourself in almost something identical as what you just, came out of. Hey, Matrice, how are you, Montrese? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming through. And then you sit up there and make the same mistake that you thought you learned. And it's like, hey, just saying, how are you? And thank you for coming up the other night. You really brought a lot of proof, and I appreciate that. I appreciate Mob as well for speaking on it, because so many times. Hey TP, hey Joe, what's good? So many times people want to paint you out as being messy or doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and that's not even the case. So I really appreciate you just saying for coming up the other night. um yeah, I really appreciate that. Hey Philly, what's good? So I am having an open panel, and let me get to it. Hey Rainisha, how are you? I'm gonna have an open panel, and so anybody that wants to come, hey Worldwide, long time no see, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then I'm gonna go to my page, and I'm gonna put I'm gonna pin it. So someone, if you want to come up, you are more than welcome to come up, because I think this is a discussion that most people need to have, especially if they're even thinking about being a content creator, or even if you just are going to be a subscriber. A lot of situations that I got into, it was because I was in the chat. I was a subscriber. I started out like most content creators. I started out in the chat. So you learn a lot about different people in the chat. You learn about a lot about the content creator. Hey, Sikkim Dogs, how are you? Good to see you. So you learn a lot about a lot of things, and some things I think that, hey Gary, is I'm glad that I learned some things. I'm still learning. Like I said, every time I think I've um, conquered something, you'll meet another person, and it's like, I guess I didn't learn the lesson or whatever I was supposed to learn the first time, because I'm repeating it again with someone else different. One thing about me, I try not to go dark. I really do try not to go dark, because that's really just not who I am at the end of the day. But I'm not no punk. And my thing is, I don't like confrontation, but I don't run from it either. I'm willing to face it. Hey, agent, what's good? Good to see you, Smitty. I'm willing to face. Hey, House of Blues. I said House of Blues. House of Urban. Maybe my mind is at House of Blues. But good to see you, Urban. Good to see you. And this is an open panel. Anybody is welcome to come. What's up, Nark? My girl. What's good? Anybody is welcome to come up. I did pin the link at the very top. I want to have a discussion about this. I've had some situations as a subscriber and as a content creator. Dealing with people on here, I guess it's just like dealing with people in your real life. There's some good people, there's some not some good people, there's some sometimey people. Hey Dubs, I'm good to see you. Um, you said going dark ain't who they are either. They're just comfortable doing it on StreamYard from their yeah. Hey Toby, how are you? Good to see you. And I believe that, well, I don't know about that does, because I do think some, I hope I spoke to you, TP. Um, there is some people I do think there is dark, and the thing about it is people on here just like in real life. So we can use what's on YouTube, we can use it for real life too, because just like how people flip floppy, or there's some timing on here and they'll change at a drop of a dime in a New York minute, they will do the exact same thing here on YouTube. But I had the most drama, the most hatred on social media than I have ever had in my real life. And that is a fact. That is a fact. I've had more hate and more drama on here. And when I tell the people about, like people in my life, that about the stuff that I have encountered on here, they can't even believe me. They're just like, because they're not, when they go on YouTube, they maybe look at some videos, some music, but they don't be in the chat. So they don't really know. They don't know the life of being in the chats and getting to know different content creators and different subscribers. And some of the subscribers go to the same chats and stuff like that. So they don't know anything about this type of world. So when I tell them the stories, they say, "Hey Sirius, hey beautiful, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming through." They can't believe it. They're like, "Selena, these people are weird as hell." And I'm like, "I know." You know what I'm saying? So that I won't be weird as hell, I try to have a balance in my life, right? I try to make sure that I have outside, like I have a life outside of YouTube. And that's what's wrong, I think, too, with a lot of people. Their life is YouTube. So their friends are YouTube. Everything is YouTube. Their relationship, every type of relationship, from romantic to platonic, is on YouTube. And see, this is why people get so consumed with it. And they get in these, hey, Alpha, they get in these situations, these entanglements, or they get into going back and forth with people because YouTube is their life, at the end of the day. So I put the link in the chat. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come up. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of the times, like I said, dealing with, especially the one that just happened recently, like I said, doing the interview, and I asked both parties to come. And then now I have this woman trying to come at me. Hey, Platypussy, what's good? And then having to kind of deal with that in the way that I feel is best for me and my platform. Like I said, going back and forth with people has never been my thing. I've always been a person, I would rather fight than go back and forth. That has always been my thing. So I'm really not into the going back and forth on social media. I think it's really sad that grown people can't be grown. And if you have a out with me, or you are offended or something that I did, or you felt that I did, it's always good to go to people. That's why I had the situation where the other night I called, a young lady up here to discuss whatever the situation was. For some of y'all have seen the live, and I like to be able to have a conversation with another grown person. Unfortunately, we have grown people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s acting like children. So that to me is irritating. When I'm acting better than someone that's a senior to me, that's really, to me, that should make them look bad. You know what I'm saying? They should make them feel bad. And unfortunately it doesn't, because people are so wrapped up into their warped sense of self. They're so delusioned about their how they are really being seen as a person. They don't see it, and it's unfortunate that people don't see what they do. I always try to look at me first. I always try to say, is there something that I could have done differently? If there was nothing that I could have done differently, then there's nothing that I could have done. But what I'm not going to do is go back and forth with a fool. It's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of my breath. So, hey, how you doing, Urban? It's good to see you. What's up, Brown Skin? This is a open panel for people that want to talk about YouTube relationships. There is no real friends on YouTube. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. Sometimes I'm saying maybe, sometimes I'm like, hell nah. Because like I said, people will switch on you at a drop of a dime. So, Urban, How are you doing?
I am doing good. Happy belated Valentine's Day.
Happy
Salute
Val-
everyone in the chat.
Hey Ellie. Yeah, thank you for coming up. What do you think about this subject? Do you really think that there's real friends on YouTube?
Um, in the hindsight, no, there are no real friends on YouTube. There are only people who are just networking to benefit whatever it is they're trying to benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how when it goes wrong, it really goes wrong. Like you'll have people doxing something that I have never done and I won't do. You have people doxing people's information. You will have people making fake narratives about you, all these different narratives about you and all this kind of stuff, putting things in the chat. So there's a lot of things that you face on here. Let me ask you this. Have you ever faced anything where you were going back with a person, or maybe you felt like you went too far, too dark with a person and you're going back and forth? Hey,
Um,
Diane.
on YouTube, absolutely not. And the reason why is because I guess it's part of my profession. I learned how to deal with conflict resolution, and I know how to deal with that very well. So whenever people would try to go there with me, I know how to disengage, and I know how to just end it. Now, the one thing about it is that I can't stop people from talking about me. If they talk about me,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But at the end of the day, it is my choice of decision where if I want to continue to participate in it or not, or allow them to trigger me, or as you say, send me into a dark place.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Um, I have to sometimes make the decision not to do that because I feel like sometimes people will do stuff to try to pull you out of you really trying to, be who you. I will say this. Initially, I try to be a nice person, right? I try to be fair and I try to be as genuine as I can with people. Hey, Captain Wolf. Right. Okay. But there's a part of me when it's kind of like all gloves are off. Hey CS, how are you? All gloves are off. And I have always been a person. I never liked confrontation, but I also never ran from it, right? So sometimes I find myself in a battle on the inside because you want to do what is right, but then there's a part of you when you see somebody coming at you foul and you know you didn't do anything to that person, there's a part of you that want to get with them to at the same level that they're on or lower, right? So I have to always it's like a tug of war with me, to be honest with you. It's a tug of war to handle things with grace, handle things with, with style and not go out looking like a straight up fool. And then there's a part of me want to get straight up ignorant with you, like all the way ignorant. So I feel like sometimes, and really feel like those are negative entities that try to pull you in to make you look like how they look. So I always want to remember that. I have to remember that every time if I feel like I'm about to do something disrespectful to the core and just get down to their level, I have to kind of remind myself. When you talk about conflict resolution, what is conflict resolution for some people that don't know?
In the simpler term, conflict resolution is for you to effectively communicate to that person in a way where you'll be able to disengage any type of negative confrontation.
Okay.
Like,
So
like, like
go ahead.
for, like for, like for example, part of my professions that I deal with social work, so I engage clients every single day. Sometimes I have clients that come into my office. They be irate by various reasons, and
Mm-hmm.
so I've been trained to know how to ask open ended questions to where I'm not personally attacking them, but I'm just showing them that I do have some type of empathy, I do have some type of sympathy for whatever it is that's bothering them, and I try to figure out the core reason why they're feeling that way. Then I'll be able to get them from that path where we be able to focus on whatever type of services they need. And
Mhm.
so same thing here on YouTube that I noticed. I noticed that, for us as content creators, we have this belief that people cannot talk about us, but I disagree with that. The
Mhm.
reason why I disagree with that is because that's part of our job as being content creators, for people to talk about us regardless if they agree with us or not.
Mhm.
So if you feel uncomfortable with people engaging you that way, then to be honest, you don't need to be a content creator, period,
Right.
on any type of social media platform. Now it was one thing that you mentioned. I do agree. You're saying that it was some type of entities that's on influencing the behavior, that's on influence you to be triggered. I agree with that. The reason why I agree with that is simply because them type of entities that you describe it, they're trying to test you. They're
Right.
trying to see how far they could go to break you. But
Right.
if you're strong of a person like you say you are, then it wouldn't bother you, because you know the devices or the weapon that they're trying to use against you.
Right. And that's what I always have to remember, because see, on here, as that saying, people try to test your gangster. They see that, oh, she tries to be nice, she tries to do this, she tries to do that. Oh, well, let me see what I can do to piss her off, to make her act and look just as foolish or ugly, just like me. And they will do things that are so disrespectful, to the point where it's like, oh my God, if you was right in front of me, it wouldn't be no talking. So I really, like I said, I really have to always remind myself that, just like in real life, YouTube will have its challenges where people will test you to get out of yourself. And I really have to remind myself, because I'm not perfect, and because I'm really trying to, I know my triggers, right? I know my triggers, especially um if I'm in a situation where I feel like, okay, I know this, what this person has said or done, this would, if this person was in front of me or around me, it wouldn't be no talking at all. And I really have, like I said, it's in this, you just have to be smart, because I feel like people be trying to trap you and stuff. They be
Yeah,
really trying to trap you and stuff.
yeah,
And
I agree.
mhm,
Absolutely.
and especially on here, I was just like, nah, I gotta play smart, because I understand, my I sometimes I understand my adversary, right? And when I understand my adversary, that will show me, that will kind of tell me how I need to play this thing. Cause see, really, to be honest with you, most of these people, they don't even see nothing they doing is wrong. They see it as a game. you know
Hmm.
they see it as a game, but it's really sad that people use the game of being so disrespectful to other people just to test them, or just to be like, well, this is YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But I really have to kind of make sure I stay not too, I say, overly emotional, because as women, we can be overly emotional and we can start making some stupid decisions because we're so overly emotional.
Yeah,
let,
yeah,
let
great.
me you have anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
The things that they say about you, is it true?
No.
Yeah.
Have but Yeah, but let me
So
tell
if
you this, I have lied. you know I have lied. I
of
have
course,
misquoted something, you know what I'm saying? I have
of
been a
course.
hypocrite. So those are the things that I will tell the truth on. I have been a hypocrite, like we all have, right? And so
Hmm.
let me just be clear on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's the point that I was making. That if it's not true, then that should let you know right off the bat that that's one of the devices that they're using against you. They're using a well, we call it a fallacy, or sort of ad hominems against
Hmm.
you to try to trigger you. But since you know it's not true, then it shouldn't even bother you at all. And another thing too is that all of us on YouTube, we're not, I real self on here. Like me, for example, this Urban's not my real name, but that's my
Hmm.
character name that I have on here. So we all not gonna tell the full truth about ourselves, which is nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, we all trying to protect our identity on here, because
Right.
we
For
there
real.
are crazy people out here.
Nutcases. Yeah, they are. Mm, yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that's
that's but
mhm, go
that's
ahead.
that's that's why they yeah that's I'm sorry about that. That's why they do that, because they know that that particular thing is going to trigger you, so they're going to keep doing it over and over again to expect their resort. But if you, just like you're saying, it's a game. Maybe you should also play the game too, but you strategize more with the game. Start learning the moves that they're gonna make before they even make them, and you be able to
Hmm.
counter that move.
Right. And that's exactly what I think is one of the most smartest things that I've heard today. Because really, like I said, when you know that people are playing a game, and you should be able to study it to where you should already know what your next move is. It's kind of like playing chess. You know what I'm saying? You have to get it in your mind, how what's the piece, the highest piece? Is it the queen or
The most valuable piece is the one queen.
the queen? Okay. So you have to
That
kind of go ahead.
Oh, also, then it also depends on strategy too. But the most valuable piece is the queen. But you also have the pawns there too, and the knights, different things like that.
Hmm. Yeah, and
The
one thing
rook.
about me, you know, Urban, I have done interviews for different types of people. For like I said, I'm a person, I like to do interviews. I think they're exciting, to know a person's thoughts, how they move, and things of that nature. And sometimes in the midst of doing that, people will make it seem like you're being messy when they have seen other people that have done interviews and they're not messy. The people, it's like on here, it's a double standard. And it is about who you like. Depending on who it is, I don't have a problem with it. But because you're doing it, you're being messy. You're being this, you're being Miss Wendy Williams or whatever. So it's like I had to kind of get myself together, because I'm like, I said, I don't know if you saw the live, but I said, you know what? I don't think I want to do any more interviews I think I said in this sector or surrounding the sector. But then I thought about it. I had to realize that I think I'm pretty decent in doing interviews. I'm still working on a lot of different things. But I said, you know what? Why do I need to stop what I'm doing because of a few people that have something bad to say about it, or have something to say about my intentions for doing it? You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of
See
time.
it.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. See, in that situation, the reason why they're doing that is because they see the potential in you. Sometimes people will become insecure within themselves, and they'll project it on another person.
Hmm.
Maybe they're the ones who desire to do interviewing, like podcasts like you're doing, and they see that you're doing it, and so they become jealous and insecure over that, and so they want to stop you for doing it. So I'll say, F them. You continue to do your interviews. If you're passionate about doing it, then continue to do it.
Right. And some people will be the same people say, I ain't jealous of nobody, but my thing is, be who you are, you know what I'm saying, and allow other people to be themselves. So it's amazing to me how people don't believe what is good for the goose is good for the gander. But now I have decided that I will be doing interviews. It's just may be not be surrounded by the beef. as much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be interviews more on people's lives and how they maneuvered through and how they came from this to that. I want to talk about things that are more encouraging and things of that nature. So um I said, you know what? I'm gonna change that. So if I lied on that, forgive me, y'all. I misquote. I'm gonna say I'm I miss was it misquote or misstated what hey Dimple D, hey Jojo, everybody that came in, hey Kevin, married to the paper. I hope I spoke to everybody that came through. But I said, this time around, I just have to start just being honest with some things. And like I said, if I have misquoted something, if I was wrong about something, I'm gonna admit it. I told people it's 2024 and really people just need to get off the bullshit and just be themselves. So, of course, I'm not going to be that open and let everybody knows what's going on in my life and everything like that. But at the same time, I got to be real with people too and let people know, hey, I'm not always right. I miss the mark a lot, right? And sometimes I don't always, practice what I preach, if that makes sense. Like I don't do it, and but I want to, you know. Um and I found out that I spoke too impulsively when I said that because I do enjoy interviewing. It's just that I might not interview certain types of people. I might not interview certain types of situations because it could add more fuel to the fire. But yeah, that's kind of what I decided as
So
as I was going over it.
so give me an example of you misquoting because I'm not understanding it.
Well, I had said the other day, you missed that live when I said something about I wasn't going to do any more interviews. And it was because it was behind someone that I was supporting that got offended because I interviewed, even though I reached out to the person and asked them to come on as well. And they got interviewed. I interviewed the other party, but the person was mad at the other party, and it's kind of like I got in the middle of a situation, right? Basically just doing an interview, and I didn't have all the truth at the beginning, right? So I'm doing the interview, going in there kind of blindsided in some ways, right? So as I'm doing the interview, the other party, even though I invited the other party, got offended and did not like it. So it created more mess, right? And that was not my intention. But look, and if people already view you in a certain way, it's like, oh, she being messy, she trying to do this, she trying to be malicious, she trying to be backstabbing and all this kind of stuff. So I had decided, you know what, I don't want to do any more interviews. But that was wrong for me to say that because I shouldn't allow that situation to stop me from doing anything I like. The only thing that I have to think about this time is doing it smarter. Do not do interviews surrounded by beef. That was my first thing because I'm not trying to be Wendy Williams. I'm not trying to be Wendy Williams. So, um, let's see.
So I'm sorry to cut you off.
Mhm.
But in that situation, that's not a misquote though, Selena. That is you giving your opinion or perspective. But whenever you do interviewing, you don't have to have all the facts. It's okay to have an opinion about the situation, even if it's not true. That's all
Mhm.
part of interviewing. But like I stated earlier, the reason why the people got triggered is for the simple fact that they see that you're doing something that they desire to do, and they don't have the courage to do it the way that you're doing it, and so they're trying to derail you.
Yeah, I see that too. Okay, I'm gonna let Miss Regina come up, see what she got to say. Let me see what John's saying. He said the word for Selena is integrity. Glad you got it because your words came from self-reflection. We need to be our own critic at times. It builds growth and character. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Hey, Professor. Professor says emotional intelligence is needed when dealing with people, especially wicked ones. Never stoop to their level and speak the truth. Move on. Period. The back and forth will lead to stooping. Oh, isn't that? Yeah, it's true. Okay, Miss
Hello, my
Regina, how are you
darling.
doing? What's up?
I'm
How are
doing
you?
wonderful. Selena.
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
I'm going to join your conversation in a moment, but I want to say hello to your guest. Can you give me a little time, Jesus?
Good girl, you better come on.
Okay, how you doing, sir? How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing? Happy
Okay,
belated
yeah,
Valentine's Day if you celebrate it.
I do celebrate it, but and nice to meet you. I'm Selena. You know I go off on a tangent, so you
Yeah.
tell me the subject because I
We're
thought I
talking
was coming.
about we're
Wait,
talking
wait,
about
wait! I ain't finished.
okay, Miss Regina now. Go
Okay,
ahead.
now I was looking at your
Uh-huh.
title, so I
Uh-huh.
came here thinking I was going to, because I want to do, follow your rules.
Yeah,
So
all
when
right.
I started listening, I said, I'm a
Mhm.
little confused with the title. Can you help Queen out before I get started? Because I have to know where before I get started where I'm going.
Okay, you said okay, Dimple D. I was talking about there is no real friends on YouTube. So that was my question. I'm asking people, is there any real friends on YouTube? Can you develop, what type of relationships you develop on YouTube? Are they actually genuine? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll have relationships on YouTube. It's because there's a goal in mind that you two are trying to do. It's not necessarily that y'all like each other. It's just something that y'all want to accomplish, and and then you get into that type of relationship with a person. But I'm just talking about YouTube politics. What works, what doesn't work, entanglements. Hey Jay, and all that kind of stuff. It's just all about YouTube and how how a person handles themselves. So it's a I would say it's a vast it's a kind of a vast topic to talk about. It's very broad. You know what I'm saying? So do you have anything?
Well, can I shrink it down for
Mhm,
this gentleman and give him a real life example of when you and I clash from a misunderstanding? And
mhm.
then maybe he can reevaluate his opinion that jealousy is involved and people don't want to see you make it involved. If we just give him our two step, the night I came up on your panel and beg you to yield the floor to me.
Mhm.
And you were speaking on me, or you was upset because you thought I had let someone call you a bitch on my stage. You remember that moment, our clash?
Oh yeah, I remember it very well.
Okay. So, but you gave Russell Red grace.
Mhm.
He didn't even know that there was something going on with you, and he mentioned him, and you gave him grace. Say, oh, well, you didn't know. You didn't give me that grace,
Mhm.
Selena. That has nothing to do with jealousy of what this man is saying. He comes to that opinion about. Tell this
Mhm.
man the truth.
Mhm. He wasn't talking about you, so I don't
I,
understand what you're saying.
No, I know he's not talking about me specifically, and I'm not really talking about me specifically. I just want to give him a real life example of how you and I clashed, and it had nothing to do with jealousy or not wanting to see
No,
you. Yeah, okay, but
no, it
so how?
didn't.
But
That
see, he
didn't
was going to leave away with that vision of black women and black people over here, and we made it through that
happen.
disagreement, did we, Selena?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, so this brother here, can I 100% say your conflicts on YouTube with some of us is out of jealousy? and we don't want to see you get anywhere. And God knows, my darling, I don't want to see you leave. And I want you to continue to do interviews of us, because there's very limited of you all left that will give both sides of the story. They're trying to send your side away down the motherfucking middle. And you stay here and stand, young lady. And I yield the floor.
Regina, you're something. But yeah, let me just say this now. Do you want to answer that, Urban, before I say anything?
I wasn't sure if she was talking about me, or if that's a situation that happened between y'all. But what I gathered out of what she was saying was that you didn't offer her the same type of grace or respect as she did when she was on her show, if I'm not mistaken.
I think she's talking about the time. She's talking about the
Can
time.
I speak and answer his question? What I'm focusing on, prior to me giving you this real life example, would you still consider that most people that clash with Selena are jealous and don't want to see her make it? Because I just gave you a real conflict. And we worked it out, but we worked it out through a conflict to get to peace or resolution. And jealousy and not wanting to see her get anywhere was not nowhere on the table, sir. And I yield the floor.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So when I made that statement, you generalized that statement to your personal anecdotal experience with Selena. Is that correct?
No, I did not. You came to a conclusion. You run no experiments. You run no statistics. How do you come to that conclusion? I'm giving you, most of Selena's encounters have been like mine. It's only been a little few outliers that will make you come to that conclusion, because you don't know what you're talking about. I am a historian of this sector. Most of Selena's encounters have been like mine.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Well, in that statement that you're talking about right now, I could agree with you on that, because I don't know the overall history of what's been going on between Selena or with you, Queen Regina. But I only know what Selena is telling me right now at the moment, and that's why
I'm not saying just with me. I said most of her experience with others and myself. There is not the majority of jealousy and not wanting to see her get somewhere as the motive. I'm not saying there's not some people with that motive, because I do know that too. But it's not 100% of what you said walking away. And that's why I popped up on the stage.
Okay. Well, I know.
And I yield the floor.
I know from me and you, it was a situation. It wasn't, I didn't feel that it was out of jealousy. So he didn't say everyone. He was just saying some situation.
I didn't say he said everyone. So I'm just giving him an example of, out of 100, you've had this issue probably with 88.
Child, please. And that is not true.
And I'm not saying 88 people. I'm saying 88%.
Okay.
I'm not saying people, Selena. I'm giving you statistics, my darling.
Regina, we're not doing it. Okay. I respect you, but this is my panel. Now, it's not no damn 88%. And like I said, I've never had a problem with you, Miss Regina. Don't want one. But it has not been 88%. We are not talking about everybody. We're just talking about things in general. He was talking about things in general. Me and your situation.
What percentage? No, you keep wanting to use my individual situation. What would be your percentage? Okay. So, Mr. Urban, this is the
I need
experience.
you to temper it down, okay?
This is the experience, Mr. Urban, and there's no jealousy
Okay,
involved.
there's no
And I
jealousy.
yield the floor.
There is no jealousy, like I said.
Yeah, I
Okay.
knew she. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to even interrupt, man. I knew she was gonna run. She just interrupting your show because y'all have good contact. I mean,
No, I'm
good
just
content
talking
going
about.
on.
I am just. Yes, I understand. I'm
Yeah,
just talking
but
about things
why
in
would she
general.
even come up here? Why would she even come up here and interrupt and do any of that stuff, man? We was listening to what you and the gentleman was talking about, and
Right.
she wants to just come up here. She's just mad at me because of our little situation. But I'll talk to you
Okay.
tomorrow. And
Okay. I
one,
appreciate it.
all right, I'll holler at you.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that raised my voice.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I was hearing in your voice. You was getting a little triggered there. I was like, man, Selena,
no,
please
I
calm
mean,
down.
the thing about me is, um, I don't, like I said, the problem that me and her had, it wasn't stemmed on jealousy or anything. Everybody that has a problem with you is not jealous of you. I am not oblivious to none of that bullshit, right? So I get it. Everybody's not jealous of you. That's just what it is. There is some people you have conflict, you have some conflict due to personalities, or maybe what a person has misread about you. There's a lot of different things that happen. So it's not always jealousy, and I get it. So I don't know. I really still don't understand what she was saying, because like I was telling her, you were just saying in general on certain things, could be
Hmm.
this,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
So, mhm.
Yeah, that's true. I
So
was speaking in general because I don't know the overall situation now. If I knew the situation, then I would speak in general. I'll say specifically this type of person and their behavior, because I have no problem with doing that.
mhm. Yeah, and so like I said, I don't have a problem with have a conversation with anybody, but one thing I have learned, nobody is going to run my panel, and nobody's going to keep acting like, oh, it's okay to say and do anything to me. Like, that's not going to happen. I've always been a person that took up for myself, regardless of what maybe people have thought. I wasn't gonna do nothing. I wasn't about nothing, and I showed they ass every bit of it. So that's the thing I have to kind of remind people and let people know, even on a social platform. I run my show. Okay. I try to respect people. I try to treat people like I want to be treated. But some things it's kind of like we're not doing it over here. Okay. And I'm going to keep my show on whatever it was about.
I,
Go ahead.
I'm proud of you because you handled that conflict very well, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Like I said, I think we all need to respect people, regardless if we like folks or not. You know what I'm saying? Let people say what they need to say, and don't try to be condescending or over talk a person. If I know, for me, I'll give people the opportunity to talk. But if I feel like you being disrespectful, like, or anything like that, and I'm not saying Miss Regina was, I'm just saying in general, especially if you just being disrespectful, I'm coming for your head, because I've tried to be nice. I've tried to be respectful. Okay. So, and I try to do all that conflict resolution stuff. I really do, because that's a part of being a teacher. It's a part of going into mediation. You have to know those things about conflict resolution, how to handle it without losing your head. But sometimes, like I said, that other girl come out, so I have to kind of reel her back in. Like I said, I know for me, everything is not jealousy. I know that. I know it's sometimes it's personality differences. A person may not like how you handle something or how you said something. It could be a
Hmm.
variety of things that happen why certain people don't rock with you or don't like you. That I'm not really concerned with. The only part that I'm responsible for is making sure that I'm trying to treat people the way I want to be treated and be myself at the end of the day. And that's it. And
It's
not be fake with it.
it's one of the things that we have to be aware of too as content creators, and that thing is what you did a few moments ago, which is to control your show. Some I'm not gonna say all subscribers, but there are some subscribers, we would know them as trolls. They'll come up and they'll purposely will try to sabotage your platform.
Mm-hmm.
What subscribers need to understand is that at the end of the day, we're running a show. Some of us run our shows like businesses. You know what I'm saying? So there is a level of respect that we demand from you, you know what I'm saying? Then there's also a level of control that we have to be with on our shows. If we don't have that level of control, then they'll get up here on our panels and they'll just do whatever they want, say whatever the hell they want to say, and do all these triggering things, you know. But one thing I've noticed by, you know, going in different sectors is that sometimes content creators will let these people rock out because they feel like that negative publicity gives them views. And that's what messes them up.
Wow. Yeah, and that's why it's a lot of people that get into the beef content, or they become the beef content creators. It creates a lot of revenue. They get a lot of people in their chat. People want to come and, people want to donate because they like to see the drama and all this kind of stuff. And that's what I see.
Entitlement.
Yeah, I that's what I see. But see, I don't have, that's not my type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a waste of time being on here going back and forth with people when you could just go and see a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want, you know what I'm saying? If you really about that life, like that's all I'm saying. If you gonna do something, do it. But most of these people, they just be doing a lot of back and forth, but it brings in the views, it brings in the money. And people like drama at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if I can have some type of drama, but know how to turn it into conflict resolution, like that could be a lesson for people. It could be a lesson for me and the people that's watching. You know what I'm saying? The people that support me. And I don't ever want to be so far where, I'm like I was telling people the other day, hey, Larry, I don't want to be where I'm telling people this kind of thing. And then when something happens, then I lose it. I fall to pieces because I allowed, something get to me when I'm telling people, hey, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even do it. It's like, be about what you're talking about. Be about what you're preaching about. So I said, you know what? People gonna have to get used to this, Selena, because this is who I am. Ain't nobody, I don't believe nobody or anybody is that much jealous or obsessed with you, that much. But you do have some people that are. And most people that have seen me, that have actually observed me, they know I try to stay in my lane, speak to everybody, whether the people liked me or not. I just try to speak to everybody and have fun in the damn chat. And I try to, I'm gonna just say, stay in my lane, right? So, like, there's some situations where you get too close to people, you share certain things, then in the next 6 months, y'all enemies, and your stuff is plastered, on YouTube. Your text messages are shown, all that kind of stuff. So people really play a dirty game on here, to be honest with you. And I'm just kind of learning how to deal with it a little better than I used to. Does one ever admit he or she is jealous? I think not. People will conjure up all types of reasons, actually lies, for disrespecting or not liking you without even truly knowing you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's 100.
Absolutely. And again, I'm not saying 80% of people, like I said, but I don't.
I mean, it really don't matter about the statistics about it. It's just the overall
Yeah, it's all like
that jealousy is there.
I mean, and again, it's not always jealousy. And I'm going to state it again. It's not always jealousy. Okay. It's not always, but sometimes in some situations it could be. Like I said, but I'm never a person that go around saying, oh, they just jealous of me. Oh, they just jealous of me. How arrogant is that, to think that everybody in the world is jealous of me? How arrogant of that, So I don't even, I see that, and I don't even want people to even think that that would be something that I would be thinking every time I turn around. Somebody's jealous of me. Somebody's envious of me. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. So don't put that narrative, I don't want any, because people will go with whatever, but don't put that narrative out there like I feel like everybody's jealous, because that is not true. And I said it how many times? Maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, but there will still be somebody on here and say, oh, she think everybody jealous of her. The narratives that people run on here is just, almost comical.
But
Selena, oh, go ahead.
but then again, that goes to what I was saying earlier, that you can't stop people from talking about you.
Oh no,
That
you
I
definitely.
I hate to say it like this, but us being content creators, we have to have tough skin for real with the job
Oh
that we do
yeah.
on here, dealing with people, well, if they agree with us or not. That is a part of it.
Mm-hmm. What is it? 80%, 88% say too many damn. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, forgive me. I wasn't trying to scream in y'all ear, but some things that's
So
just like,
you screaming my ear. I have my headphones on and everything. I like, damn.
it's like I gotta bring back some control. Now I just have to bring back some control on the panel, because I feel like sometimes you just have to be careful. Some people will take your kindness for weakness. So
Yeah, that's true. I experienced that on my own platform too. Where some people, they think because how the way I try to articulate myself to the best of my ability, they think that I'm soft or weak or simple or anything like that. But no, I'm not. I don't tolerate disrespect on my platform. Period.
no, I don't do it. I don't do it to anybody, and I don't want nobody doing it to me. And that's just crazy to me, you know. Hey, damn D, what's popping? Okay, right, Selena. Jealousy is the go-to for women, and women disagree. Everybody doesn't have. You're right. Everybody doesn't have a jealous spirit, and I get it. More like Grand Perry. You too nice. Who do you say? You too nice. Not from Oak Cliff. More like Grand Perry. Shut up, Russell.
I
Nah,
keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that you're from the hood.
that's what I'm saying. Like my thing is, I went to school. I went to arts magnet school, so I was exposed to different things. You know what I'm
What?
saying? So
Wait a minute,
when
Townview.
no, I went to Booker T.
Oh, Booker T. Okay, yeah,
Right. I
yeah.
went to Booker T, and I was in theater. So I was around a lot of different types of people. So I was exposed to, the people that I grew up in the hood, they wasn't exposed to the stuff that I was exposed to, because I was going to school downtown. Right. So I'm learning about different cultures. I'm around different people. So when I come back to my neighborhood every day, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb, because it's like, um, I just stick out, and but at the same time, they knew it's still in me, even though I go to school downtown. Hey, I can still get with you too. So it was just kind of like I feel like I've had a balance in my life. And then my last year when I moved in with my dad, I went to school in the hood, South Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying?
Sock.
So yes, I was at SOC. So and I didn't have a problem at SOC. I had one girl that tried to test me, and she found out that hey, I can get with you too. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, hey Evo, what's good? Thank you so much, guys, for coming through. Papa Will, Yeah, so like I said, I have a variety of different experiences. So when people try to, just because I'm nice or I come off a certain way and they like, oh, she ain't about it, she ain't. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I like to be unassuming. That fits me. It really
Yeah,
does. I like to be unassuming. And again, I have no problem with Miss Regina, but I will speak my piece. And this is my platform. And just like I respect other people's platform, anybody that comes on my platform will have to respect it. And that's just point blank. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I
I
was saying that I just like because like I say, you have to, yeah, brown skin, you have to learn how to protect yourself. I grew up when my grandmother was like, you better not let nobody whoop your ass. You better fight back. Don't ever let nobody think they can get over you. And that's how I always been. So when people would test me because I was nice and because I would not be very like, all up in your face, popping gum or, whatever, they would think, oh, she's just this little sedity girl or whatever. And then, like I said, then that other part had to come out. And I had to show people, okay, that's what you think. All right, then they'll test you just like they test you on here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, people really, like I say, they come here with these narratives. Ain't nobody said nothing about everybody was jealous of me. Like that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
guess
Absolutely.
guess guess what high school I graduated from?
Um, what part? What part of
Southeastern Dallas.
Southeastern Dallas? Is that like it ain't Skyline, is it?
Nah, no, Skyline is Western,
Western
more like Western.
Townview?
Nah, not I did not graduate from Wilmer Hutchins.
You graduate from Wilma Hutchins?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I knew you. I said, man, this dude sound like he from around the way. Like you sound like he was from Texas. That's why I was just like, but I
Yep.
didn't want to come out
Yes,
and
ma'am.
ask that.
Yep. Yeah, I was born and raised. But you called the area Oak Cliff too, but I was born and raised in Highland Hills.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of cousins that was over there in Holland Hills.
So I
Wow.
probably know him because we all close knitted over there. So
Did you know I don't know if you ever knew some Andersons.
yeah, I know St. Anderson's, depending on who they are.
Uh-huh. It's a lot of them over there. Though, well, those are some of my relatives from down home, but I don't want to get too far into that because we're going to, how these folks they be looking for
Yeah,
information.
yeah, they be trying to dox you. Oh, ha.
Yeah. Oh, she related to some Andersons, like I say. So yeah, yeah, they're in Highland Hills and stuff. So yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So I lived behind South Oak Cliff. So all I had to do was just walk up the street to my school. You know what I'm saying? To the high school. So like I said, I experienced a lot. And hey, Denise, what's popping? So I've experienced a lot, and I just really have felt like YouTube has taught me some really important lessons, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm still learning to control myself. I'm still learning on what to say, what not to say. I'm still learning on not engaging in foolishness. I'm still learning how to shut things down when it needs to be shut down. And I really try to always, like I said, I want to give people respect, but at the same time, I'm gonna get respect, or you gonna get gone. That's just what that is.
Yeah,
So,
facts. I agree with that. Um,
mhm.
as long as you continue on that path of learning and learning your triggers and learn, certain type of self control, then you'll be good. Because it took me a while to learn that process as well too on YouTube and with my everyday life.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and I'm still also learning about conflict resolution too, because like I said, even though like sometimes, hey, 7G07, sometimes I struggle with conflict resolution. But I know that I have to I'm getting better than I used to be. Because like I said, when you start working with kids, a lot of times some of these folks on here are big kids. So it's like you dealing with a grown person, but they are kid in the heart and in their behavior. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the times I try to turn it off and be like, okay, just imagine some of these folks you dealing like with children. And then I have to catch myself that I don't become a childlike and start, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Guys, like I said, this is an open panel. Anybody can come up as long as we're respectful. Um, yeah, anybody is welcome to come up. I believe I pinned it at the very top. Uh, damn D, you a mess.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you got to
damn,
pin it.
yeah, okay. Damn D, that was a funny song. I was rolling. I was getting off of work and I heard that. I was like, this nigga crazy. Yes. Yeah, but and Justinice is one of my real friends. Like Justinice is one of my real friends, and she can tell you I've came a long way. you know. Um I've came a long way. So like I say, when I come on here, I really do try to treat people like I want to be treated. Have I made some mistakes? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there some things I wish I could do over? Absolutely. But since I can't, all I can do is take accountability for them and not do them again, you know? And that's why I really try to do, I think self-awareness is really good for people, which most people seem to think it's everybody else's problem except theirs. But I always try to look at myself first and see if I'm the problem or if I added something to it. It says, in my opinion, we are dealing with people who never had this much attention in real life. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. That could be a problem, for
Well,
me.
well,
I'll go
well,
ahead.
for your statement where you say that you want to look at yourself first, see if you the problem.
Mhm.
That particular statement, I disagree with that. The reason why is because sometimes people will gaslight you, or you'll be dealing with a person that's a narcissist, and they'll make you think that you're the problem, but in reality, it's not you. It's them all along. So.
Hmm.
Uh, I believe that you have to look at the overall situation, what's happening from both perspectives, understand where you're coming from and understanding where that person coming from, then try to come up with some type of conflict resolution in between, even if it's not going to benefit, still come up with something. If it takes for you to fully disengage and leave and do whatever you got to do to protect yourself, your sanity, then, do that.
Now, in your opinion, not, I would say, well, what is your meaning of when a person is gaslighting you? Can you give me an example?
Yeah, well, whenever a person gaslight, it's like say for example, you come up to me and you say that the sky is blue. Obviously, we all know that the sky is blue, but I tell you that the sky isn't blue, the sky is purple, and I'll make you seem like you're crazy for thinking that the sky is blue because the sky is purple. That's a form of gaslighting.
Hmm. Can you use it with an example, like something that happens on YouTube?
Yeah, same situation where, um, let's say I were to come up on your panel and I'll say something, say a fallacy that wasn't true at all about you. I'll say that, oh, so Selena is this ugly woman from Oak Cliff and she be going around and sleeping with people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start questioning, right? Like, did I really tell people that I'm this type of way? You start questioning your own sanity about it, which you know it's not true. But I've been convinced not only you, but the people who are watching that is true, but it's not.
Okay, so a lot of times I maybe have been gaslighted, and because I'm like, on some things people really will make you feel like, wait a minute, did I say that? Did I do, did I do that? And you have to kind of go back. Now, and this is where me and you might be a little different on this. Even with that being said, people do gaslight you. People do certain things, like especially if they're narcissists. But at the same time, I still think it's very important for you to be self-aware as well. Because as we know, we're all flawed human beings, right? So there could
Yeah,
be
I
some
agree.
things in me, there could be some thoughts and behaviors that I have that is might not be befitting as well. So that's the reason why I say you also have to be self-aware of yourself, because you might have something to do with it, you might didn't. But I always look at me first to see if there was something that I could have did differently. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's best to look at yourself first. It's not so much saying putting all the blame on me, but it is sometimes very good for you to be very I said introspective of, yourself and just everything around you, but more than anything of yourself, who you are, how you do things, what your triggers are, how you allow certain triggers to kind of trip you up a little bit. And sometimes people do play mind games. So you gotta have to kind of know the difference. And that comes with observing the situation and the person. I had a friend of mine tell me last night, she said, Selena, you must pay attention to the people and how they move. Because she said sometimes when you're in the middle of something, you can't see it from all angles. So you have to pay more attention and not get so in the middle of something, but pay attention and step back and look at everything. Pay attention on how people move, how people talk, what they try to do, like what do they try to interrupt, or just different movements that people make. She was telling me that I had to be, hey Eshu, I had to be um more mindful that that it's a game for some people, how they move and do things, and you just have to be smart enough to just sit back and watch it and quit always being in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? By you explaining that to me, uh,
mhm.
I I agree with that. I changed my stance on that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
done learned something.
The beautiful Miss Akimi. What's good, Miss Akimi? Are you there, Miss Akimi? You probably, oh, okay. How you doing?
All is well. Hold on. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-oh, I got some feedback. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, but
sorry.
she's working on her audio, but yeah, and I'm glad that you came up here, Urban, because like I said, I like to get men's perspective as well on certain things. But that friend that I talked to last night, she made it very clear to me how I need to do things instead of, and that's why God gives us two ears and one mouth. We need to listen more than we talk. Hey Arabia,
Yeah,
how are you? Yeah, we need to
yeah,
listen more than we talk.
absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that point up because whenever people come up on these panels, they want to prove they argument, but without considering the possibility of it being wrong and accept it for what it is. It'd be a lot of pride and ego that be happening on these panels instead of us learning from one another.
I agree. Absolutely. Like I say, sometimes there's so many egos on here that it's hard to reach people because they can't get beyond their ego. And that's in people in general. So Miss Akimi, you got it working?
I do. I think so. I think I got rid of the echo. Thank you for being patient, and also
Oh, yes.
greetings. Yep, and thanks for having me up.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
what is your perspective on all of this?
Well, I've been kind of listening. I think Mr. Urban has had some really, really great points, and has given some enlightenment that can be applicable to, actually being a content creator, or in the chat, but in your situation, being a content creator puts you in a different position from a different vantage point, in my opinion. And you just said something that actually motivated me to hit the panel, and you referred to the statement that your friend told you
Mm-hmm.
about, it's so easy to kind of get lost when you're in the midst of the situation, or maybe
Right.
not lost is the perfect word, but just kind of consumed to the point where it's hard to kind of look at it from the outside in. And
Mm-hmm.
especially when you get emotionally charged, and people
Right.
on this app seem to, at least some people seem to know how to trigger those that they intend to trigger to obtain a certain end result, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I it's like a refreshing, a breath of fresh air to hear you say, self-reflection and accountability is important to you. Now, I kind of want to just give you, I want to expound on that if I can, just for a moment, because
Mm-hmm.
I deal with that as well. And I also, in my lives, I will be really um, keen to point out that, self accountability and looking at whatever part I might have played in a particular situation, before I look at the person that I'm dealing with. um
Right.
like Mr. Urban said, dealing with the resolution of conflict, right? But
Right.
I also want to expound and add to that, that you don't want to do so much self-reflection that you lose focus of the person that you're dealing with. When I was
Right.
talking earlier today, I made a comment on a podcast, in regards to moving slowly and methodically. And so it's I think it's a really good, I think it's a craft that needs to be honed, for some of us, but I think it will reap such benefits if you can just control the tempo of
Mm-hmm.
your panel, of your environment on this, just not on the YouTube platform, but in real life too. Like if you're
Right.
dealing with communicating with people, and just, being able to kind of slow it down to a point where you're able to look at it not just from your vantage point of self-reflection, but also being able to look at the people that you are interacting with. And I think that
Right.
give you enlightenment, so you won't have so many. And I'm speaking to myself on this as well, so I'm not just giving you
Mm-hmm.
any advice. It's advice that I definitely want to take for myself as well. um
Mm-hmm.
just it will alleviate some of the apologies or the regrets, right?
Right.
If you
Right.
can just be in that moment, and like I said, if people are moving or saying something that's too fast, or they're trying to control the narrative or the conversation, over talking and all of that, it's a sign of disrespect, in my opinion, especially if it's intentional. And it's up to us, you being the content creator and the orchestrator of that particular environment at that time, to say respectfully, I need for you to pause. I need for you
Mm-hmm.
to pause. Let's back it up. Let's reiterate it so I can get a clear understanding of what you're saying. And we can do it in a respectful environment and in a respectful manner, and come to
Mm-hmm.
hopefully a positive resolution. And at that point, they will show you who they are, and they will show you, most of the time, they will show you what their true intentions are. And then you can act accordingly, right?
Right.
So I didn't mean to be long winded, but there was a
Oh
couple of things
no.
that were said I
Uh-huh.
definitely kind of wanted to touch on before I lost my train of thought. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I respect my elders on their advice on how to handle certain situations, and especially dealing in social media. One thing I want to ask you, Miss Akimi, do you find it? Have you ever like met some people on here and you actually became good friends with, or are you very cautious of the people that you interact with on here?
Um, Now with me, okay, I don't know where the feedback just started from. Okay, I think it's gone. You know what? I am I'm cautious.
Hmm.
However, I don't close myself off because whoever God sends you, he's not going to tell you where they're coming from, and you have to be open, and you have to be, but that's where that methodical, that but see, I sit back and I observe a lot. And
Okay.
I've been on this platform for since KB hit the platform. So I'm one of the day one supporters, and I stayed in the chat, or actually in the bushes, before I even started to engage in the chat for about a year.
Hmm.
Because I sit back and I watch and I observe, and that's just I've always been that way. And
Right.
so people kind of tease me, Miss Kim, you probably in the bushes. Well, also I have a very active life, and I have
Hmm.
a life outside of YouTube. So even though my ear is kind of, because I don't watch TV, and I don't, I don't even have a television. So kind of, this is my entertainment, this is my go-to. And so when I do engage or whatnot, I'm usually on the go. And so I'm not able to kind of always be on at the keyboard. That's why I don't put out content every day, because I can't. I'm
Hmm.
at this point in my life, I'm unable to sit at a computer and push live after live out. And I admire those that do, but I can't do that at this point. But to answer your question, and not to be so long-winded, I apologize. I I do have a few people that I consider to be authentic, um,
Hmm.
because they have proven themselves. Even on a social media platform, you can still look at a person's actions, their behavior. They can give you indications of their character, but you have to, like you said, you have to be willing to sit back and observe, and you have to be willing to just kind of slow down and watch
Right.
how people interact with others, not just you, right?
Mhm.
That's a big indicator for me. I don't make it a habit because my circle is usually small. In real life as well, I have a very strong tribe, but it's a small tribe.
Mhm.
Um, and it just has always worked better for me that way. But to
Right.
answer the question, yes, I do think that there are definitely some authentic relationships that can be formed on this platform. But we do have to stay mindful that this is still through via technology, and people sometimes become masterful at navigating it to get a certain outcome. So discernment for me is always a gift, and something I thank God for, because it kind of weeds out the bullshit, for lack
Mhm.
of a better term. So I've been blessed in that area. But have I made some mistakes in relationships? Yeah, but not so many now. I'm a lot more aware, cautious, and my past experiences I have allowed to kind of dictate and teach me some lessons that I've chosen to take heed to and learn.
Can I ask? I'm gonna ask both of you guys. Um, with you guys, say for instance, if you support two different content creators and they both have a beef with each other, can do you think you can be neutral, or is there not such a thing as being neutral on YouTube?
Mr. Urban, I'll let you go first.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Um, happy belated Valentine's Day to you if you don't celebrate it or not.
And thank you
But
so much. I appreciate you.
well, for us, the content creator, I believe that they can be neutral. For us, the one that want to be neutral, but however, the two other beefing content creators, they're not going to see it like that. They're going to see it as those you are, as they call, supporting your ops. So the
Mhm.
moment they see you in they allege ops chat or channel, they automatically going to assume that you're not loyal to them anymore.
Even though people will say you can go wherever you want, I don't care.
And I've seen it. I've seen it countless of times in the beef sector, in the tea sector, where they would say that, right? But the moment when you go into like the ops channel and they see that, right, guess what? They're gonna strike up a live, showing receipts about you being over there and just totally drag you.
Yeah, they'll drag you. And then some of the people that say, "Oh, I don't care," they looking at you suspect. They waiting for you to do one little thing so they can go off on you. That's what
Now,
I've
now,
discovered.
Now, once again, keep in mind. Originally, you're going over there because you know you rock with both of the content creators. It don't matter. You
Right.
don't care about what they beefing about because at the end of the day, does content to you, does YouTube. But
Hmm.
they took it to a whole nother level where it became personal, and so
Right.
now low key they want you to choose sides.
Hmm. Yeah. And do you think it's a? And go ahead, Mr. Kimi, before I ask my other question.
Um, okay, so with me, I can only speak from my personal experience. I liked what Ellie had to say. And I think there's a lot of truth in her comment where she was saying that she feels like the subscribers can be more neutral. It's sometimes it's the content creators that force us to choose, but I also think that it's the other people in the chat that put you in a position because the chat has a lot more power than I think we really acknowledge and give it credit for. It has its own entity on a lot
Hmm.
of pages, right? And so
Hmm.
people stir up a lot of stuff and promote certain narratives or whatnot. Now, when it comes to me, I'm on the side of right.
Hmm.
So whoever I support, they have to have integrity and be of good character. Um,
Okay.
Outside of that, um, I don't really listen to outside influences. I do
Hmm.
feel like I can be neutral, but again, I think the good point was made that sometimes it depends on the atmosphere of the content creator's page. You got a lot of trolls that come through. You got people that are subscribing to that page and then what they consider to be the ops. And I think it can get real sticky. Do I think it can be
Hmm.
possible? Yes. But depending on you got people that have time to really kind of pursue this thing. And if they hone in on you, particularly whether you're the content creator or the person in the chat, they can make things kind of complicated. It can complicate the environment. So, again, I usually choose where I'm comfortable and where I feel like there are like minds, whether other people agree or not.
Okay. Um, Roy Lee said once the lies start being involved in the beef, eventually they will start calling you out for not calling the lies out. And see, that's to me, I hate when content creators do that because it's like, this is not my problem. I as long as I'm not being two-faced and laughing in one person's chat and laughing at the other chat about what they're saying about the other person, it is not my problem to say, well, this person didn't do that, because guess what? Once you do that, here you done got yourself involved in it as a subscriber. Then you got a content creator going at you, and then and there you go. It's just a not. It's an ongoing cycle of drama, and like I said, and then who's to say that in the next 2 months you might fall out with that same subscriber that you was fighting for. So that's why I say now I just stay out of it, because to me, these people flips on you so fast. What's the point?
They sure
Um,
do.
yeah, they flip on you, and it's like I ain't being loyal to no. I'm not being loyal to nobody that's not loyal to me, especially if I don't know you. Now, what I will do is give people the decency of not being two-faced, on something like that. But as far as being a person where I'm just so loyal to a person, I'm gonna take up to the end for a person, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. You will find yourself stupid at the end of everything,
Yeah,
because both of them or one of them gonna turn on you, and you gonna be their content. How about that? It's a
come
waste of
on
time.
now.
I don't know you and you don't know me. So for me to fight for you to the bitter end is foolish.
And it also, kind of gives explanation to why a lot of people choose to stay in the bushes
Mm-hmm.
and not comment in the chats, because it doesn't, like, once you start commenting, your chance of being exonerated from anything is slim to none. Now your name is going to be thrown into whatever anybody finds convenient.
Right.
That's why I think, the lines kind of get skewed, and it becomes a real thin line of being active in chats of, content creators and those that they consider to be ops.
Right.
Yeah, I am that person that stays in the bushes a lot, unless it's a content creator that I really, really rock with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I do too. And then when you do that, they get mad at that because they like, well, she don't support me no more, or because. But it's
Yeah,
not,
true.
nah. I'm just trying to stay out the way, and I be respectful to people. Like if I rock with two different people, I try to just not, you know, be all the time in the chat doing stuff, because people can read things the wrong way. And I think I don't know if it's just YouTube, but people in general, and to me, and now are overly sensitive about everything, and you could do one thing and people will read it the wrong way. And I think it's because it's a lot of displaced anger that they have in their own personal life. So any little thing can set it off, and then they are pointing at you.
And there's also a lot of people that assume things too, Miss Selena, because,
Mm-hmm.
just like, even like when people text me on my phone, on my personal device, sometimes I'll misread the texture of the text.
Right.
Because it's just words,
Mm-hmm.
unless they put emojis, or, but then you have some people that don't use emojis, so all they use is the letters of the words and hardly no punctuation. So sometimes it's really easy to misinterpret the texture of something that is being typed. And then, somebody will take something and run with it, and then now we've got half of the sector screenshotting and DMing, other content creators. And so by the time the original comment circulates through the social media platform, it then developed a whole 5 different narratives depending on who's telling the story.
Mm-hmm. And to answer your question, 808, my entire existence is not on social media. So I don't know if you was just asking that question or you trying to be sarcastic. But okay, I hope that is not okay. So if you're trying to be sarcastic, no. If you're just asking a question, just ask. Of course not. If you ever hear me talk, I talk about a lot of different things that I do. And to be honest with you, I'm not on here every day. So anybody that says differently is a liar. So no, it's not my entire existence. That's why I'm not a mean, angry person every time I come on live, because I have a balanced life. So
That part. Hmm.
uh she is right. It takes a strong personality to be in front in chats. Yeah, it's people out here crazy. Like I said, Dimple D said it could. I could be neutral with it, Selena, but when you are neutral, a lot of people don't like the mirror in their face. Shit just happened to me, and I, not even a content creator, right?
I,
You know what I'm saying?
I think Dimple D is a prime example of calling it down the middle for the most part and being neutral, and having the freedom to go to whatever chats and to whoever's pages she chooses to go to. And but it's like, I've seen people go at her just because of that, even though her expressions and her statements don't really warrant that type of response or reaction. But it just because she does go to different platforms that other people may or may not agree with, she catches flack for that. But I take my hat off to her because everybody can't do that and call it down the middle.
No, they can't. They can't call it down the middle. And when, like you said, if you do not say something that is favorable to another person, the other person gets upset, want to cuss you out. But the thing is, if you want people to lie to you, then okay. I mean, that you know that's great if that's what you want. Keep being around those people, but some people are actually independent thinkers, so they're not gonna agree with everything you say and do. And with me, and with you being a content creator, you have to be understanding with that. If there is something that I am not doing right, or it's something that I didn't I didn't say or do something was that I should have done, I would expect somebody to call me out, especially my friend or somebody close to me, and be like, "Hey, you know what? That was really messed up what you did." And I should be open enough to constructive criticism, especially if I could say, if I feel like I'm not trying to be, how can I say, miss know it all, or think everything I do is right, or my stuff don't stink. Like, you have to be open to constructive criticism. You know when a person is coming at you maliciously, and you should know. And then you should know when a person is actually trying to give you some constructive criticism because they're trying to help you. But I understand a lot of these people don't want help. They want to continue in their foul behavior and blame everybody around them. That's what I
Bingo. Bingo.
that's just what I see. But that's who
Yeah.
am I? You know. Um
Well, you're an observer and you're a
yeah.
content creator that has been on this platform, whether it's at content creating or in the bushes, long enough to be able to observe that, to form that opinion for you to express it. So I know that was a rhetorical question, but I
Mhm.
wanted to just add that because I wanted to say that earlier, but I didn't want to, to me, it was a time and a place for it at this point.
hmm and like I said, and the reason why I know about that, because used to be like that. I could not accept constructive criticism because I thought I knew everything and I thought I was right about everything. But then when life starts to keep hitting you in the head, and you keep getting these same stupid lessons over, and then you look up and realize you wasted most of your time thinking you knew everything when you didn't know anything.
Yes.
you know and so that's the reason why I can talk about it, because I was like that at 20 years old. What's sad is when you're in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and your 70s still with that same behavior, that nobody can tell you what to do. You're always right, and it is what it is. Get used to it or get lost. That's how some people's attitudes are, and I think that's pitiful.
I agree. I totally agree. Grower Tech says the drama brings clicks and views. Don't we know it?
Yeah.
Don't
Roy
we?
Lee
Yeah, big
said
facts.
they will force you to pick a side. Get back cool with the same content creators. They force you to stop supporting them and expect you to go back to supporting them again because they are back cool.
You
Yeah.
you know what? I'm glad that he mentioned that because I have experienced that before where when two content creators are beefing, in reality what they're really doing, they're really promoting each other. It's something that was already pre-planned in the beginning. And so they'll
Mhm.
create this type of storyline or narrative like watching a reality TV show. They'll come together
Mhm.
privately and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna spark this up, and they agree to that. Then they
Mhm.
present it on YouTube as though as they're beefing. And they'll do it for a while. Then after that, they'll come back as being friends.
Right. And it's like a play to get those views to come in, those that the views, the likes, and the money to come in. That's all it is. They don't talk behind the scene. They know what each other's gonna do, how they gonna do it, how they gonna talk about each other, and then you don't know that all y'all being played at the end. So that's what people do, and that's unfortunate, but people be doing stuff like that, and I think that's really foul. But it just goes to show you the love of money is the root of all evil, because people will do anything for money out here today.
Well, even more so, not just the love of money, but the nowadays it's the love of views. It's the love of the notoriety.
Notoriety.
Popularity. Yep.
Dimple D says not one content creator can make me choose a choice. That's crazy because people like who they like, and we don't know one another. Okay, we don't know one another, and besides, this is virtual. You would think. Selena, how do you feel about people reporting chats to content creators? Isn't that time consuming and weird? Um, uh, Reporting chats. Ellie, are you saying they report the chats to YouTube, or they
No,
report it to the other content creator?
no. They talking about that these are other supporters, right, or subscribers. They'll create troll page and they'll go into that beef and content creator chat, and they'll want to report whatever's going on over there. Even take screenshots and stuff, report it back to the other beef and content creator.
I think it's weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I've had people to send me things for the simple fact I felt like they were trying to look out for me in certain ways for me to know certain things, because they may know that I wasn't watching or I was out doing something, so they will let me know what's going on. But as far as spending time going and being a troll in somebody else's chat, and another person that you have beef with, it is a little strange. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I don't quite understand unless a person, like, I can see, okay, if a person is using your content or something like that and they letting you know or whatever. But like just to be reporting what everything is going on and all that kind of stuff, to me, it is, it's strange. It is strange, but it's not like sometimes we haven't asked, well, what did this person say? Well, what did that person say? Because I've done it. So I'm not gonna even lie on that. But to just be going and reporting all that kind of stuff all the time, that is strange. And I wouldn't advise anybody to do it, especially if you have a life. But if people don't have a life, I guess that's their only form of entertainment. I can't even have an opinion on the content. Then you'll get called out from the content creator that you had an opinion. Right, Wayne. That's why I'm just like, people, hey Carl, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, that's why I'm like, a lot of times I keep my comments to myself unless it's somebody that's coming at me, and I might feel at the time to address the situation depending on what it is or what I want to say. But other than that, to just give my opinion on certain things, I don't give my opinion on a lot of this stuff because number one, people don't care. Number two, people don't care. And number three, people don't care. And number four, they don't care about nothing and nobody. And they want to keep going into their foolishness. So all of that wrapped up in one, it's a waste of time to try to have your opinion on some things. You will save yourself a lot of stress, a lot of energy, giving your opinion on stupidity. I'm just keeping it real to you. Because like I said, this is a game for some people and it's money. It's money. It's notoriety. People want to be known. People want to be seen. Like somebody was saying, some of these people, this is the most attention that they've got in their life. So you think they'll take that more than they will take money. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes their money is addictive. They getting them cash apps and all them super chats and stuff like that, memberships. All that gets addictive. So people are just, like I say, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But really, people don't care. They don't care about trying to be a better person, especially look at the sector that you're in. If you're in a
That part.
sector that
Yes,
is centered around beef. Do you think they
yes.
care about wanting to be a better person or seeing it from another's point of view? Hell no. They want to continue to keep going in on your ass, keep doing community walls, calling you trash and everything under the sun, because that's what they want to do. This is a beef sector. Most people don't care about being a better person or a better human being. That's just not what it is. We're in the wrong sector. Whatever. And I'm not saying this sector is wrong. I'm saying in general, whatever sector that is surrounded by beef, you can expect to get what you get. you know.
Yeah,
I
but
have to agree with that.
that's the thing about it, Selena. I've been to a lot of different sectors, and every sector had that little small portion of it where people just be doing beef within that sector.
Mm-hmm.
It don't
Crazy.
matter what it is. It don't matter what sector it is. Gaming, cooking, mukbang. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing that. And so, that I totally, I believe and I agree with. When it comes to like, okay, so I just want to use Biz 101 as an example. I remember when I first started listening to him and subscribed to his channel, he used to always say, I know that that when I start talking financial stocks and whatnot, it doesn't really fit in the scheme of this sector, but this sector needs something like this, or I want to make it available. And so he was intentional about being in this sector to bring awareness and to, for those that were drawn to him and that felt that they could benefit from some of the information that his page had to provide. He made that available. So now he's monetized and he's at, over 1,000 subscribers, and more people are coming out and saying, including myself,
Mm-hmm.
that we have benefited from the information and taken advantage of, him being in this sector and staying here. And I'm grateful for that because, outside, I really don't know how to branch off into other sectors. I dibble and dabble with certain content creators, but I don't like branch off into that sector that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to correlate that to pages like ours, that focus in on building and people like Bolo and others. I don't want to there's a lot of new content creators, and so I don't want to go down the list. So it's all inclusive, you know who you are. But I'm just saying that, no, we don't get the views, we don't get the clicks, we don't get the likes necessarily. However, there is a percentage of people that I do hear, like when they come to my lives and they say, this is refreshing, or this is nice, or, thank you for covering this topic. And so there is an audience for it, even though it's not the majority, it's still an option for people that choose to utilize it.
Yeah. And hey, Tasha, who else came in? Bolo. Hey, checking you, boo. What's good? Who else came through? I think that way. Hey, Marissa, how are you? It's good to see you. And you're right. It's a lot of different things on YouTube that you have to sometimes learn by going through. Hey EJ, what's good? Good to see you. You'll learn by hey Angelo, Big Red. You have to go through some things, some things, but some things you can learn by watching and observing. Everything you don't have to you don't have to hit your head with it. Grower Tech says, I feel like I should be about respect in order to get it. You have to give it. If they don't come with it, they need to keep moving. If not, I'm not responsible for what might come out of my mouth. Right. No, that's right. To say I'm handy with my hands. I don't like to pay people for something I can fix myself. Oh, maybe he was talking about something else. Okay. He said the sad thing, I didn't start a beef sect. Okay, the sad thing is it didn't start a beef sector. It turned into that. Okay. Are you talking about Juicy, you talking about the KB sector? Is that what you're talking about? Checking you boo says, what's up? I was en route in my destination. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming through, checking you boo. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, like I said, I just thought it, hey Kevin, how are you? I thought this was an interesting subject to talk about because I've just experienced so much on here, and some good and some bad. So I just be trying to maneuver through this the best way I can. And I want to make sure for the most part I'm not the problem. That makes sense. Because I just, like I said, we just see so much on here. We just see so much on here, and it's just like, and I don't even know I don't even know if some people know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you're talking about the Kwame Brown sector, Juicy, from my understanding, and this is from what I can recollect going back, okay, when I watched Kwame Brown at the beginning, when I knew about him, when he first went viral, was when he was talking about Math. I think it's Matthew Barnes and Stephen. Is it Stephen A. Jackson or Stephen A. Smith? Both of them, I think, are Stevens. But and he was going off on them. He was giving his opinion, but before then, I believe his content. So, Miss Akimi, were you here before he started going in on his fellow colleagues, like his former colleagues? Were you here before when he was talking about politics and things of that nature? Or did
Yes,
you? Okay, so you were here before that. So before that, he was just talking about politics, what's going on in the world, correct?
yes.
Okay, so it did not start off beef. Okay, gotcha.
Well, okay, so let me just say it this way. He incorporated both. So when I think one of his I caught him when he was in the throes of going after Matt Barnes, and trying to correct behaviors and address statements that had been made, but at the same time he was still doing lives that were talking about politics and what he felt was wrong in the system. So it was, to me, it was a mixture.
Okay, okay, it was a mixture.
Yeah.
Because some now I've heard some people say this is a roasting sector, this is a beef sector. So I'm not for sure. Now it seems like it's a beef sector because you have people kind of going in on each other. So it's a little
Yeah, I think it's incorporated quite, it's gone through some different transitions over the 4 years. Because it didn't start out a roast sector, because he didn't really have, in my opinion, because he really didn't have a lot of open panels. um,
mhm.
at first. At first, he was just going live from his office or in his truck and, vocalizing and venting things that I think he had been probably wanting to say, or maybe he had said on Facebook, and he was, wanting to reach a different audience. Because that's what I mean by the political aspect and dropping gems in the midst of it all. But I think once he started gaining detractors within the sector, and there were different branches that broke out, that's when the roasting, kind of was incorporated. At least that's my memory.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let me add on to that. Well, when I first started looking at Kwame Brown, right, that was also during the time when he was talking about the NBA, talking about Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Um, he was talking about that's the NBA in general as well too. Then also, and I remember him doing things for the community. Like doing a shoe drive. Talk heavily about STEM programs, different things like that. That was all part of Kwame Brown on content. But I believe what happened was that other content creators started doing what we call coming for him. But when they started coming for him, that's when it became beef, because these type of content creators, they wasn't interested in trying to learn from, his content. That was there just to gauge, just to get views. And so Kwame Brown ended up responding back to that by, as I said, by roasting them out and, doing all different things. And it kind of manifested into what it is right now for us, what I observed from it.
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
I would just ask, and this is Urban Lounge. Hey, Narc, whoever else is a mod in here, if you can put not only your personal channel in here. Hey, Miss Coco, if you can put EJ Urban, I think Ellie was asking for Urban Lounge's chat. If you can put all of these different content creators, people that have a page, if you can put their link in the chat, as well as put your own channel in the chat so people can subscribe up to you, I would appreciate it. Miss Akimi also has a channel as well. So if someone can get her channel, even Miss Regina has a channel. So if anybody, like I said, put people's links in the chat. Those who added the excitement to the show, put them in, put everybody in the chat, the channel. Okay. So yeah, put everybody's channel in the chat. And Bolo, Checking You Booth says, I have been on Tube for a while. I ended up in this sector because of the notifications appeared regarding Stephen A. Smith, which led me to watch. It was the first time I knew about Kwame Brown. Okay. Yeah, checking You Booth. I don't know if it's a he or a she, but you be having a lot of great things to say. But like I said, how long have we been up here? Almost almost 2 hours. So anybody else would like to come up? I can't. Boy, EJ full of it. Anybody else would like to come up and join us? You're more than welcome. What do you guys think about, do you think YouTube is going to get worse with more of the beef content, or what do you think about YouTube now? Do you think that things are going to get worse on here, or things are going to get better? Either one of y'all.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty stationary, because unfortunately YouTube need people to do the beat, because that's how they get their views, and that's how YouTube is getting their money. So I believe it's going to be stationary. It's going to be kind of balanced out.
Okay. And also Papa Will has a channel too. I want everybody to put people's links in the chat. Every content creator in here.
They mentioned in the chat about the AdSense. That is true, because YouTube is cracking down on the cyberbullying on here. So
they need to. Ellie, are you a content creator? I don't know if you are or not, but if you are, please let me know so I can put your link in the chat. I know EJ is. Yeah, and Yo is Mike is also a content creator. Put if you can. Oh, you're not. Okay, I thought you were. But yeah, I just really feel that they need to. They should have been doing it. I think a lot of things have gotten out of hand because they didn't take cyberbullying and harassment seriously. And that's why you have so many people filing lawsuits against YouTube, because they don't even practice the policy that they put out there. It's like, why put guidelines out, when you're not even abiding by them? Doesn't make any sense. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ellie. Let's see. Checking You Boo says, as I listened to Kwame vent, it made sense why he was upset. He wanted mainstream to stop calling him a bus. This led to KB's numbers growing with the mix of gems. The beef began to outweigh the gems. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And it usually does.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that a lot of that had to do with because that was what was getting the clicks and views as well.
Oh, uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Kwame, he had a lot of major content creators was coming from him, like Tommy Sotomayor and a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the only reason why they was doing it, they wasn't doing it because they didn't like Kwame Brown. They did it because he was, just like I said, he was a gem. He was the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all a money thing. Um, okay, she was saying that her yeah. Like mods, if you can pay attention, if y'all, I don't know who's in here still. Because like I said, I know Commander's still in here. Thank you, John, for coming through. John Show is also a content creator. Uh Eshu, what your thoughts are, Eshu? But yeah, I'm so glad that you guys came up here and we had a meaningful discussion. Is there anything else you guys would like to add to YouTube? How, as a content creator, because both of you guys are content creators, how do you guys keep a balance in your life and not get overwhelmed by being a content creator and being overwhelmed by if you're getting numbers or not getting numbers?
I don't rely on this as my primary source of income. Um, I'm driven by wanting to build, and accumulating some wisdom and going through some experiences to kind of drop gems here and there or to say things that other people may be able to benefit from is my motivation, or has become my motivation, in this sector, and wanting to remain in this sector. But um, I, I don't know. I don't think I would be psychologically balanced if this was all I did. I have to have some type of, because prior to YouTube, I have a whole life outside of here. So
Mhm.
balance is in my DNA. And in order for me to
Mhm.
be mentally, peaceful and productive, I can't just put all of my attention and focus on one thing, especially if it's not feeding my soul.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
As for me, currently right now, I'm taking a break from content creating. Now I think I'm going on week 2 now, because
Mhm.
normally I normally have myself on the schedule where I do shows at least like twice a week. Not I do shows. So, but now, yeah, I'm just on the break because I just needed that time off where I could just spend more time with my family and just kind of relax. That also I could be back in my studio and start creating more content when I decide to go back live. Because I know that it can be very draining being a content creator, trying to always produce content there. Plus, you have to go through the psychological part of it if you're dealing with beef, or if you're dealing with people either agreeing with your content or disagreeing with it. So yeah, you
Mhm.
you, you need that break.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Like I said, I think it's very essential to anybody that has a channel to have a balanced life, because if you don't, you will actually turn into what you hate. So you have to be very cautious of your mental health as well as, your personal life on getting a life, getting a personal life. That's very essential. I would like to thank my hardworking mods. Thank you for doing as I asked. Thank you, Fran. I think this was your first time coming in. I appreciate you, Fran Taylor, for coming through. It's always a blessing to see new people. I hope you return. Thank you guys for coming up on my stage. The beautiful Miss Akimi. What's up, Big Booty Judy? How are you? Good to see you. Make sure you guys also put it's just ETV as well as EJ's channel as well. so people can sub up to him. And Grow Tech, okay, Grow Tech has a channel. I need to subscribe to you as well. I didn't know you had a channel.
Neither did I.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna sub up to you.
Well, thank you, Miss Selena. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come up and converse. I've been wanting to join. I thought tonight would be a good opportunity. So, Mr. Urban, thank you as well. It's been a pleasure listening to what you've had to bring to the conversation also. So I appreciate everybody.
Oh, I do too. And I hope you come back on Monday. And because I want to do an all women's panel so we can talk about certain things that women go through and how we deal with those things. And I want to have a different age groups, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe some 60s. I would just want to have different women's perspectives. And, I just, like I said, I'm a kind of person, I like to be fair. Now, every now and then I have to, get ignorant, but I want to be fair and respectful to people. And I feel like as women, I think we need to do a better job by coming together and quit with the BS. Like I said, and I want to do a live on that. I think I put it on Monday, that particular one. So I hope that you will join me.
Yes, ma'am. I put my IG. I don't know if you have all
Oh
the
yes, I seen it.
platforms, but I just put my IG in the back chat. So if you'll send me the link or a time, I will make myself available.
Okay, Mr. Kimi, because I don't have anything close to me, if you could look up Queen Selena 1125.
Okay. On IG?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Say it again. Say it one more time for me.
Queen Selena 1125.
Okay.
Really need to change it. But yeah, send me a message so that I can send this information to you. But I also put it in on my StreamYard so that hopefully it should pop up. Urban, you're
Got a
always
pink dress on?
Huh?
Do you have a pink dress on?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I
Yes.
just requested you.
Yep. Yeah, that's her being fast on that picture on IG.
This was crazy.
I like it. I like it. I love the
Yes,
color.
yes. Boy, I tell you, Urban. So Urban is from, well, you're kind of like from my neck of the woods. So, okay, I knew you had to be somewhere close in Dallas, somewhere in
Yep.
Texas, somewhere. So yes.
Born and raised.
Okay. Will T said a couple of weeks I attempted to do a nice live waiting on my okay. And also Will T is a content creator too. Will T is a very interesting person. So y'all put Will T's link in the chat. Will T be having gems. He be saying some gems. Thank you guys for smacking the like button. As Commander said, please smack that like button. And make sure you press the notification so you'll know when I'm going live on my next live. The next live I will be doing is hanging with Brody. How are you? Oh, that is that EJ? Okay, yeah, he said it's EJ. I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow, and I'll be interviewing Mr. Russell Red. Now, Russell Red is just a regular old guy. He's gonna give you for saying that has been through some things in life, and he has came from being a juvenile all the way up to where he is now. And I will be talking to him tomorrow. We're just gonna have a great conversation about life and how he made it to where he is. So if you guys are interested on tomorrow, please come back. I believe I set the live at 7:30. So guys, I appreciate you. Thank you, Rare Money, for the super chat. My boy Rare Money. I don't know who else. Did somebody else send me something? If you did, I appreciate you so much. I couldn't do this without you guys, from the people on my panel to the people in the chat. So you guys be blessed. EJ, be
Hey,
nice.
hey, Selena, real quick,
Mhm.
thank everybody so much for subbing up to my channel. Now,
Oh yeah.
I do want to put a disclaimer out there to y'all that I am part of the Manosphere Red Pill community. All right, so my content is gonna be dealing with a lot of that heavily.
Mhm.
So they're also on the weekends. My subscribers love when I DJ on the weekend. So I'll be DJing on my channel, playing R&B and hip hop and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
just let
y'all
you
need
know.
to check him out. Anytime him, I think it's Urban and also DJ Tanya. You guys see her in my chat sometimes. They both have really good music channels, and Nathan Great. So guys, y'all
Yeah,
check
yeah,
these
she do.
people out. She has some really great music. And y'all check her out. It's Coco. I don't know if you still in the chat. If you would like to come up and say a few words, I sure do miss your voice. I don't know if you guys are know about Miss Coco BX, but she has a powerful story. And I would love for her if she has some time just to come through and say a few words if she can. And if she can't, I understand that too. You guys need to check her out. She is awesome. So thank you so much. And just let me know, Miss Coco, if you want to come through. I put the link up there. If not, I understand. Yes, y'all sub up to the people in the chat. That's why I want to make sure that we all support each other. Hey, Miss Coco,
Hey, babe, how are you?
what you been up to? Miss hearing your voice.
I've been running all day. Like, I'm so freaking tired. First, I want to say salute to you, beautiful Selena's. Hey, been nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Miss Akimi. I've seen you around and heard you. You are very eloquent and very educated and very
Mhm.
beautiful. And you bring a lot of things. I like it. I like it. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Likewise. Likewise. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah, I just wanted to coming home not too long ago, and I saw that you were live, so I got to go back and watch what I missed. But I did hear some of it, and I think it was a great topic. Honestly, I think a lot of great points were made.
Mhm.
In on these YouTube streets, it's really easy to get pulled into things sometimes that that you don't have any business in. And what I mean by that is this: people always want you to either stay in the middle or try to pull you to one side.
Right.
And the problem with that is this: I have people that I deal with that deal with me, right? But they don't
Mhm.
deal with each other. They have issues
Mhm.
with each other. But I let them know first and foremost, I am neutral. I'm not going to choose your side, and I'm not going to choose your side. If you're having an individual situation, that's something that you need to deal with. If no one has done nothing to me as an individual, you understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Allow anyone to pull me in the middle. It's just not going to happen. And
Right.
some good points were made, as Urban said as well too. Sometimes it can be the other content creator. Sometimes it could be the chat. Sometimes it's like pulling strings. You're damned if you do.
Mhm.
You're damned if you don't. You know,
Right.
just like me. People probably have seen a lot of things that's going on with me now. I am who I am, and I'm going to always speak my truth regardless. And it doesn't matter
Mhm.
who is against, because I'm on the side of right. Period.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
where I stand. So no one can pull Miss Coco BX in the middle of something and say, "Oh, well, she's going to choose this person or this side." No, I choose me. That's who I
Mhm.
choose. But I
Mhm.
also choose the side of right. So, like I said, in this type of thing, it can be, like I said, a push and pull, because you may have people, two content creators that you deal with, that you're cool with, and they're expecting you to choose a side. And honestly,
Mhm.
do I think that's fair? Absolutely not. I don't think that that's fair. I think that should be your own individual choice. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like, okay, I may say things that are unpopular. You may say things that are unpopular. People may have an issue with it, but that's their personal issue. I don't have an issue with Selena. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't have an
Mhm.
issue with Urban. I don't have an issue with Miss Akimi. It's just crazy
Mhm.
to me. But some people don't know how to stand alone, stand on their own, and use their own voices. You have to understand, everyone is not born leaders, and some people like to bandwagon because it's the popular thing to do. See, sometimes it's not popular just to stand alone and stand out. And
Right.
to you, like I said, your interviews, do I enjoy them on a personal level? Yes, I do. I do. I think
Mhm.
that you're a good questioner. I think that you allow people to express themselves. no matter how they may be, long as they do it respectfully. See, it's rules to this and it's levels to this.
Right.
Sometimes people just get it construed which level they're supposed to be on and what rules they're supposed to follow. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to come on your panel trying to curse you out and talk to you crazy. This is your damn panel. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm
Right.
any of those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to check in real quick. I'm about to make it a Calgon moment. Get me a glass of wine because I got to be able to stand for depositions. But I just want to
Right.
some love and to let you know to keep doing your thing. I'm already subscribed to you, Urban, and I know Mr. Kimi said she doesn't have time right at this moment to go live, but I'm going to subscribe to her as well. Salute to the chat, you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing almost start to your weekend. And Selena, just keep doing your thing. Like I've always told you, do you. This is not about you trying to do anybody else. Just do you. Like I said, either way it goes, they can't put you in a box and you can't please everybody else. So the hell with it. Hey, it is,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know that's right. I appreciate that.
I do, sweetheart. I do. I really do.
Okay.
Thank you so
I
much.
have
I
I have
appreciate that.
You guys
okay.
have a beautiful night.
You as
Okay, you
well.
too.
You as well.
Okay. I have two people that I'm not for sure who they are, but I'm going to.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. How can I help
Great.
you?
I'm just looking for new friends. It's a nice
Okay.
Thursday night. You know, moon's nice
Well,
and bright, clear skies. You can see the stars. It's nice.
well, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up. I'm about to end my live, so
No,
maybe
you can't end alive. You seem like such a nice
yeah.
person.
Oh, I'm not that nice.
I've been waiting my
But
whole life to meet someone like you. End it
oh,
as soon as I get
okay.
here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Maybe
Of course.
hopefully
Thank
you
you for
can come
having.
up again. Bye
Of
bye.
course, of course. Goodbye.
Okay. How can I help you? How you doing?
What's going on? Yo,
What's
shoot.
good?
First time call up and been listening for a little bit. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate what y'all got going on over here. Y'all doing the Lord's work.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate you.
Oh, you say
I
you
hope
about to end you say you about to end live, and you ain't got a couple more minutes in you.
well, no, I got to get up in the morning. I have to
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with some little children in the morning. So
Sure,
I
sure.
appreciate you coming up. Maybe you can come up again when I'm live again.
All right.
All
Appreciate y'all.
right. Thank you, Mr. Jimmy. I'll talk to you later. All right, Mr. Kimi and Urban, y'all are a blessing. Thank you for coming up. Hey, Captain Wolf, I don't know if I spoke to you. Whoever I missed, charge it to my head and not my heart. Kevin, good to see you. Kevin Scams, thank you so much for coming through. Uh, I hope you guys know if I missed you, charge it to my head and not my heart. Thank you for coming through. Everybody have a good night. Irvin, Mr. Kimi,
Yeah.
anybody that has something to do with making my live popping. Thank you so much.
You have a
Including
wonderful evening as well. And I'm going to go ahead and drop down so you can close out. Thank you so much.
all right. Y'all be blessed. Hope to see you. Like I said, I think it's Monday. Um, yeah, hope to see you Monday, but I will touch bases with you, okay?
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Okay, no problem. Good evening.
All right, good evening. And Urban, my Dallas homeboy. I got
Yes, ma'am.
another Dallas native. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
ma'am.
Um,
Are you welcome? I enjoyed the conversation. Hopefully, this show does give a different perspective about the things that we deal with on YouTube, and we'll be able to move forward.
yes, hopefully. But even if people don't move on, I'm gonna move on. How about that?
Absolutely,
How about
absolutely.
that? All right, y'all be blessed. Thank you, my other Dallas native, Urban. You guys check him out, Mr. Kimi, and I hope everybody put their channel in the chat that has it, their own channel. If you are a mod, if someone did not put their channel in the chat, please let me know so that I can tell someone to put it in there. T. Smith, you know what? I had some family in Gainesville too. So when you said Gainesville, I'm like, Man, my Uncle Charlie, they used to live up there in Gainesville. That's kind of like what, maybe an hour or two away from Dallas. Hey, Greek Myth, how are you? Thank you for coming. You guys be blessed. I hope you have beef with me because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Hater. You're just another hater on the list. Just another hater on the list. Ooh, everybody hate the Cowboys. Everybody. But that's all right. I still believe in my Cowboys. Hopefully this coming 2025 will be our year. every year is our year. I don't care what they say. You had a bad week. I had a struggling week too. So we in the same boat. Guys, y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Regardless if it's, if you got to go to work in the morning, be happy and thankful you got a job, even if it might not be the job you want. I hope you get to work safely, but most of all, I hope you have a restful night of sleep. Oh, depending on how fast you drive. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Greek. That's really, hopefully, he will be okay. But you guys be blessed, and I'll be praying for your friend. I really hate that for you, sweetie. Hopefully you guys will check out Mr. Russell Red. Oh, okay. Well, I hope he died. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about that. I'll give you my condolence. Hopefully he is at peace. Y'all be blessed. And again, I do apologize for that Greek myth. I really do. Death is one of the most hardest things to get over, and you'll never get over it. You just learn to deal with it better each day, but you'll never get over it. Oh, okay. You a Dallas Cowboy? See, that's what. See, I knew we had something in common. Let me know the next time if I missed a post. Okay, yeah. I hope everybody put their channel in here, but I'm going to exit stage left. Guys, remember, if nobody else don't love you to Reese's Pieces. Good night.